So you want a job at a reputable investment bank and you want to actually crack into investment banking. How can you do it in as little friction as possible? So if you watch this entire video step by step, I'm going to tell you the no BS way of getting into investment banking and getting commission on your deals. So before let me just take a step back. First, I would say, why do I want to go into investment banking? Some people, they want the status just to work at JP Morgan, to work at a big job, to be quote unquote almost like I hate to say it, almost like a slave at one of these big firms where they work 14 hours a day to make $100,000 in New York, which is pretty much lower than what a Subway worker would work or a McDonald's worker would make at a big firm, at a city with lower cost of living, in my opinion. But this is not geared towards you if you want to make like 100K as an entry-level analyst. If you actually want to make real money as soon as possible, this video is for you. It does involve a bit of creativity. So the first thing I recommend, the way I got cracked into the whole investment banking world, was to look at the rules and understand how securities law worked at a basic level. And so I'm not a lawyer and this is not a legal video or anything, but the way I found it out was just to look at how the regulations worked, because there are these companies that are like multi-cents of billion-dollar companies, and then there are these small startups that are pretty much startups for finance. And so these are broker-dealers, or these are different regulated types of companies. One of the hardest pieces, they're different. It's such a regulated industry, and there's so many lawyers and accountants, and it's really litigious. So sometimes you see these companies that have like 3 people, 5 people, 1 person, 10 people, and there's no tech, there are no websites, there's no software. They're just a bunch of investors, accountants, lawyers, and partners. That's it. So it's a really weird business compared to others, but it's really lucrative. So what you need to do is really, if you're in the US, just go to BrokerCheck or go to anything that says the list of new broker dealers registered. Be friends with people that are registering broker dealers, and the business model should usually be a business model that's based on raising money for people. And if you do this, then what you want to do next is like network with companies that want to raise money, offer services to them, making sure that you're not like selling, don't help the companies raise money in exchange for commission or anything, or don't break any securities laws or anything, but offer services to those types of companies, or build a newsletter or community of companies that want to raise money really urgently, that are actually not bad companies. And then just go to these companies, these broker dealers, telling them that yes, you're going to help them raise money, right? Go to them telling them you're going to help them raise money. And in exchange for helping them raise, or say that you have a network of really good companies that would want to raise money, and then go to the broker dealer saying that you have a network of companies that want to raise money, and then that would say that, hey, you have a potential pipeline of companies that want to raise money. That's a really clean, that's the way I did it. And I recommend doing it on the sell side, because the buy side is dangerous, because you don't want to be in a position where you're selling things to investors without being licensed or anything. So just work on finding companies that want to raise money and make sure that they're really good companies. And then when you do that, then you go over to the broker dealers that want to basically register, or that you want to work with. Get one that just registered, and then become a representative with them to get your license. And then when you do that, then you can potentially get commission on closing the deals that you bring in. That's the direct, cleanest way, in my opinion, of doing it. And if you do it that way, then you're going to learn so much, and it'll be the cleanest way of doing it. Instead of competing with the masses that try to get a Goldman Sachs job or something, just work with people who want to raise money, and they're more into it. The only con of this, and the only problem with this, is that involves more you have to be more brave, you have to be willing to take risks, you have to not be desperate, you have to actually have a lot of skills when it comes to sales, communication, marketing, digital marketing, and things like that. And if you're not ready for that and you want a job that's really cookie cutter, it's really not for you. It's really not for the faint of heart. It could be really stressful, but it's not nearly as stressful as working, honestly, in my opinion, 14 hours a day, making $100,000 in New York. So this is the quickest way, I think, to do it. The other way is to work at the bottom and for 20 years to work your way up. But this way you can get commissions and like when you're registered with a broker dealer. And the same thing applies in any like Commonwealth country. Same thing applies like roughly in Canada. Just look on the list of exempt market dealers. Same thing applies in potentially the FCA. If you look at people that are registered with the Financial Conduct Authority with the activities you want to do, just make sure you do that, and just have a lawyer on standby because it's a tricky business. But once you have this figured out, then you're good to go. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to enter the giveaway. And if you want to learn more, if you want to actually raise money from investment bankers, make sure you click this video to see more. Thank you.